Okay, guys, so let's start our training with alfalfa. If you haven't gotten our journal yet, this is what I'm going to do. It's got the specific areas of each herb ready to be filled in, and you can get it in the store when they come in. They're on back order right now, but you can pre-order, or you can order from Amazon. It's just called Nature's Crossing, Learn Your Herbs with Us. If you don't want a book, just get a binder. Get a piece of paper. You can write it down from there. Does the same thing. This was just a way to keep it all organized so that everybody can do it. And yeah, of course, today I'm working the store and I forgot my little video holder, so sorry if it's a little shaky. But we're going to talk about alfalfa today. So alfalfa it's usually known as a fodder crop, which means it was usually raised for like cattle and horses and for the fields. And then over the past few years, they've realized that the reason it was so good for them is because of all the vitamins and nutrients in it. And hey, guess what? We need those too. So it's got a couple other names, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher them, but at the end, I'm going to actually show you the page all filled out, and it'll have it written out so you can do it. But it's Medigio, Madieago, sativa is another name for it. And over in like Britain and Australia and things like that, it's actually called lucerne. And that can be spelled, whether it's, depending on where it is, it can be spelled two different ways. So it's Lucerne or Luzerne. And that, like I said, that's a name for it over in Britain and Australia. As far as, the history, like I said, it was grown for more of a crop for animals. And then the more studies that have been done on it, the better we've realized that it is for us. Someone with high cholesterol, it's a really good herb. It's been used for that in the past, indigestion, and there's other conditions it's been used for. It's found, like I said, anywhere that there's cattle, it's usually found there. Nutritional benefits. I'm going to read this because there's so many and I don't want to leave them out. So it's copper, folate, iron, magnesium, manganese, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin C, vitamin K. In addition to all of that, it has minerals in it, bioactive compounds, such as alkaloids, flavonoids, and phytoestrogens. Well, that's a lot of words to mean that it's really good for you, has a lot of vitamins, but it also means that it acts as an estrogen supplement. But we'll get to that in just a minute. So the suggested dosage, which with any herb, it depends on what you're taking it for, but they have a suggested, dosage for this one of 5 to 10 grams up to 3 times a day. Now, you could do that, but somebody with cholesterol, they recommend 40 grams up to 3 times a day. So again, it's one of those that you got to look at what you're taking it for and look at what you need it for. As far as the other things that it's good for, it is an estrogen boost or an estrogen replacement kind of thing. So my paper just fell, so I'm going to fix that because, I'm extra and I do want to make sure I don't leave anything out, so I have a paper going on. So let's see. Pregnancy and breastfeeding. If you're pregnant and you're breastfeeding, it is an estrogen booster, so it's not one that they usually recommend that you have a lot of. If you're going to do like alfalfa sprouts or something like that every now and then, it's okay, but you don't want a lot of alfalfa, which it sounds contradictory because it's got a lot of folate and a lot of vitamins in it, so you would think when you were pregnant you wanted it, but you don't really want that estrogen boost at that same time because it's going to cause your hormones to go up and down worse than they already are while you're pregnant. Not something anybody's really looking for. If you have an autoimmune disease, if you have fibromyalgia, MS, RA, anything like that, alfalfa, because of all the vitamins in it, it does boost your immune system. So you want to be careful taking too much of it there, because if you boost your immune system, it's going to turn around and it's actually going to cause you to have a flare-up. Now, again, I talked a little bit about the estrogen in it, But if you have uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, endometriosis, polycystic ovarian disease, it does affect that. And so you're going to want to be careful with it there. As far as medications that it interacts with, warfarin, blood clotting, because of the vitamin K, it can counteract the warfarin. Birth control pills, obviously, because of the estrogen. Medications that decrease your immune system because it boosts your immune system. And then the one that's kind of weird to me is if you're taking a medication that causes like a sensitivity to sunlight. It interacts with alfalfa and it might make the skin more sensitive to sunlight. And so that's kind of alfalfa in a nutshell. If you have any more questions on this one, or if you have another herb that you want to know about, go ahead and just give me a message on it. But again, I'm going to, I have all this written out. If you want to do a screenshot, that way it's coming up next. And here's a screenshot of where I've written it all out. This is actually a photo of a lot of alfalfa, and this is just a little drawing that I did. I can kind of zoom in so that we can maybe get it in focus, and just so you can see what it looks like. But that is the first page, and then we'll just lay this one over top of it. And this one will give you the possible side effects and drug interactions for alfalfa. And don't forget, this is what our book looks like. So it's got the exact same pages that I just filled out in it. And then in the back, it's got recipes. So what we're going to do in the next few days, we're just going to talk a little more about alfalfa, and I'm going to show you some recipes that go with it. Hope this helps, and this is the beginning of our series.